Welcome to the Vale, a rare bastion of civilization in a world recuperating after a terrible centuries-long war. Though the battles ended 200 years ago, the land still recovers from this period of tumultuous strife and slavery. Join now the defenders of the Vale as they navigate a world riddled with opportunity and tragedy, all the while seeking glory, gold, and adventure.
All right, we're gonna do this. We're gonna do this weirdly because that's how I live my life.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, last time you went into the pyramid and went through a weird portal. You went from basically the prime material to a spot in the abyss where Abel was at. You discovered Abel was a little bit more than just a person. He had thousands of journals lined up. So you found these journals, and they all had a few common things, a few common threads, right? You run into Abel. He's got these orbs of voodoo information in front of him. Some of you guys check him out. And by some of you, I mean basically Cornelius. It's like groping the orbs awkwardly the whole time. You guys managed to come in. You found out a bunch of lore. You had a huge lore dump last week. And Abel's a guy, no. Abel's a character that you guys created, basically. Abel goes, you guys are here a little too early, 10 years to be exact. And then after a little bit of conversation, he poofs you guys away. A black light, almost like, what's the best way to describe it? Kind of like a black light, actually. That's good enough. Emanates from the orbs around Abel, and you guys are poofed. Now, when you are poofed, you each forget a lot of stuff. The entire campaign. You forgot all of it. You were briefly somewhere else.
What?
Mm-hmm. Nothing happened. Ever. You guys don't know each other. You guys don't know Abel. You don't know about the dragons. You don't know about giants or the cult. Nothing. I mean, this is why I asked you guys what you would be doing if you had never joined the Defenders of the Vale. And so we're going to do some percentile dice rolls, leave a little bit of it up to chance, and we're going to kind of catch up with what's been going on before we, if you guys still want to keep playing, regroup and figure out what to do about all this stuff. All
Okay.
right?
So this is like a I had a word in my head, but now I've lost it. Well, I was gonna say like bookkeeping, but that's not even. You know what? I'm just gonna shut up.
It's a time skip. It's a time skip, just like a lot of the animes do, like Naruto to Naruto Shippuden.
Mm-hmm.
One Piece does it for 3 years. It's a time skip.
Do we still have guild tattoos?
Yeah, you do. But it's just a tattoo you got sometime when you're younger. You don't really think anything about it. It's just familiar. So Mal, let's start with you because you're fun. All right, Mallory. First thing we're going to do is go ahead and give me a percentile dice roll.
96.
Ooh, boy. Okay, so here's the deal, Mallory. You have a chance right now to set the group ahead. You, if you get this next thing right, could set yourself and the rest of the group ahead, or you can set yourself and the rest of the group further behind, possibly even costing a level or two for everybody. So Mallory, you had made your way in your travels to Centervale, right? And you're still a worshiper of Freya. You had been building the church. You met O'Malley, and you have been working on the temple, and the temple's actually grown. Like I said, you just about tripled in size from where you were. You're kind of like a little small town church before. People come in, eat apple pie, gossip about grandma, and get some stuff going on. But you've actually grown, and you have like clerics now coming out of your church. Like you're the head of an order of clerics. You have clerics who bounce around and do things. Like you've got clerics who are sent out to whenever a goblin attack happens, or if the gnolls are doing some crap. So your organization has developed to the point where not only do you have a place and most of the Centervale religious come to your church. There's other options, and you don't fight that too much. But you send your people out to do things. So you have baby adventurers coming to you to get quests. Is there anything in particular that you would have wanted to do as a character that you can think that Rabbi Jan would have wanted to do with this church? What would her goal with it be?
I don't know. I think maybe with the temple, Rabbi Jean would make a soup kitchen, but with like the best chefs she could get.
Okay, so it'd be safe to say that you would have like a Bresinger cooking some bread for you in a soup kitchen or something.
For sure, for sure.
That's doable. Okay, and so then you wake up, and one day you feel a calling from Freya, guiding you to the west, out in the fields. And is it safe to say that you get up, you grab your traveling gear, throw your pack on, your weapons, your little bookity-borks, and some travel rations, and head on out?
Yeah, I don't think Rabijan is going to tell Freya no about much.
You can be sassy sometimes, I could see it. But are you good? Is there anything that you would change? Is there anything specific that you think you would want to do had you had this time off to do stuff?
I feel like Rabijan probably would have gained some pounds. You know, large soup kitchen and foods and stuff.
So you're eating the food for the homeless people? You're not just letting them do it, Rabijan? What kind of a kitchen are you running?
Gotta taste test it, jeez.
True.
Otherwise, no, I think Rabijan will be relatively happy with what you had set up there.
Okay. So then one day, almost without much explanation, maybe you talk to O'Malley or something on the way out, you take off to the west, out to the fields, the tall grass, and you walk off like an adventurer into the setting sun. And we'll get back to you later. Onyx, a catastrophe happened to your people, one you're familiar with. You feel sated with revenge, and you have managed to find a family, right? That's what we talked about?
Mm-hmm.
And what would you have been doing in this town with these people? So you've managed to go out and you've chunked together a place, and you found some survivals of your village. You're not a very populous group, but you found some, and you've put them back home. What would you have been doing in this time? Walk me through a little bit of that, and then also give me a percentile dice roll. By the way, just so you guys know, for karma or whatever, you want to roll high on these ones. High, good. Low, not so good.
So yay for me. Yeah, I pieced together, my people, stuff like that. A lot of them see me as leader-ish, and I'm trying my best not to be leader, and actually, helped actually assign another leader to the group, and her name's Trina. I'm with them, we're miners, so, we've been doing a lot of mining, trying to get our little ransacked little village, up to par and everything, trying to get trade going with different places. I have somehow ended up married, at least that's what she told me, and we've had twins, so still haven't figured out how I got married, but married and just hanging out with my people. Every time they come to me for something, I try to push them over to Trina.
And tell me, what are the kids' names?
Let's see here. The kids' names are the boy is Quartz and the girl is Flispera.
Pretty little weird gemstone names. All right, Onyx. So you've got a few problems with your town. One, people keep referring to you. So even with this Trina person, whenever something happens, if somebody does manage to ask Trina, Trina comes to you and goes, "What do we do about this?"
Yeah.
100 times a day, Onyx, you've got 100 different people asking you how to fix something.
The end of a halberd, of course.
And you're probably getting a little frustrated about it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you feel a call as well, right? You guys have all spent 4 years of time. It's been 4 years. You spent 4 years building this family. You spent 4 years you spent a year or two finding people. One of the first people you found was the person that made you marry them, it sounds like, and made you have kids with them. Poor Onyx. And then you feel a call. There's something that's not right. And you feel a huge urge to go back to the surface to resolve things. How would you role play that out?
Okay, Trina. I figured out how to take care of that one issue you were talking to me about. I have to go take care of it on the surface. I'll be back as soon as I get the information for you. Oh, and tell Sapphire and the kids I'll be back sometime. And he just packs up and leaves.
So you're just gonna go to the corner store to get some milk.
Pretty much.
Or classically a pack of cigarettes. And he never came back.
Onyx, you had the most wholesome and now non-wholesome.
He plans on going back.
Maybe. He might be the guy who doesn't make it through the last adventure. And your kids are just going to be sitting on the stoop waiting for milk.
No.
All right, Basil.
Howdy.
Give me a percentile dice.
35. That's 2 better than Onyx. So does that mean that I have 2 more kids?
Well, tell me about it. Talk about what Basil would do.
Okay, so Basil, he's always been a sort of adventurous kind as a person, I guess, after training with the Great Sage. So he probably would be doing that, like going around sort of trying to teach the ways of the elven herbs and spices and all that stuff, and just trying to sort of like learn and like train, be a better monk, you know, how to be the flippiest boy.
And if you'd have seen Basil, let's say you imagine Basil would have gotten to an adventure with his buddies Ron
and Mango.
Thank you.
Yeah.
What do you think they would have done? What's a brief adventure you guys would have done?
Oh, well, I mean, it's definitely got to be taking down the deadliest of poisonous snakes. Obviously, Ron, well versed in defeating and handling poisonous snakes, so he, you know, it'd have to be something like that, something that really only his particular skill could allow us to accomplish. You know, so like big snake battle. How's that? Oh, there's like a double-headed snake. Oh, I think they're a bit rubbish. I don't know. I don't know many more.
Oh hell, man! You see how poisonous that snake was? That thing almost poisoned me to death.
I think I did.
Yeah, dog. I'm glad I know that grippy the serpent snake grabby thing, so that I can take care of them poisonous things before they take care of me. Woo, shit.
I agree. Yeah,
man, I'm glad those poisonous snakes don't realize I'm a venomous monk.
Yeah. But yeah, Basil basically would just go around, try and sort of like perfect his monk way, like try and, you know, master the elements as best he can despite his poor relationship with magic and whatnot, and just try and, you know, learn where he came from and learn where he fits in the world.
Okay. And you've managed to do a lot of that, and it was rough there for a little while, especially once the great old one, the Great Sage, left you for a little bit to kind of start your training. With them, there were some times that the best you guys could do was perform in carnivals, like some flippy athletic stuff to try to earn money so you're not starving, right?
Mm-hmm.
But as the time goes on and as your reputation goes, and no matter how awkward you are and how weird Ron is and how hyper-aggressive Mango is, you guys manage to start making the difference town to town as you go by. You've beaten some bandits and you've stopped some other things. You're a little gross because you've been out and kind of poor and dirty and all that. But that's kind of just to be expected. You guys none of you really think about wealth or money in the long run. You're all kind of super devoted to flippy stuff. And one day, the Great Sage kind of appears as you guys are getting up for camp, and he goes, "Listen, Lesser."
Yes, Great Sage, and he's like bowing, you know, very humbly, I guess.
I will. First of all, I'm very impressed with how humbly you are.
Thank you, Great Sage.
Second of all, I'm going to take over these two for a little bit and try to catch them up. I think you've trained all you can for now, and I'm going to take on them. And you're going to go on a mission for me very soon.
Of course.
Okay, good. You're actually late. You need to head west. You'll recognize the place when you get there, but you should have left about 2 hours ago.
But you've just come to me now. Doesn't that mean that you're... I'm sorry, Great Sage. I'll go immediately.
Are you blaming me for you being late?
No. I should have foreseen your arrival. That was completely my fault. I'll try and make up for it. I think if I sprint, I should be able to make up for lost time.
So it's weird that you would blame me, but just so you know, and he's got that smirk, that kind of smirk that he gets whenever he's giving you a super hard task to achieve so that you'll grow. You know the smirk. Mm-hmm. It's going to suck for me, but I'll probably be better for it, smirk.
Yeah.
He goes, by the way, 2 hours and 4 minutes ago, you should have left.
Okay, I'll fly. And with that, he just like shoots off Western-ish.
Just, I could show you the world.
Yeah.
Roland.
Hi.
Hey, bud. Why don't you go ahead and give me a percentile dice roll, and then let's talk about what you have been doing. Now, we chatted for a little bit about you and kind of came up with what I thought was a hilarious idea that you've been doing. And that was you're the only one who knows about dragons because you've landed yourself in a swamp and you've been trying to kind of regrow the swamp. And in this swamp was also a very young black dragon who was trying to dominate the swamp. And so you and this black dragon have entered into a prank war, as neither is really willing to go fight the other one all the way. He doesn't want to make a druid mad, and you don't want to fight a dragon.
Yep, that checks out.
So tell me some of the pranks you might have committed against the black dragon.
Oh, let's see. I would probably keep it pretty simple. Mostly just trying to inconvenience him, I suppose. Things like freezing the swamp over while he's sleeping, presumably during the day. And, just trying to make things inconvenient for that black dragon.
Okay, and so at night, you fall asleep and you have a vision, right? And the vision is of dragons and giants all heading to this place. And there's some sort of light that beckons you to this place pretty aggressively. It pulls at your soul in a way that nothing's ever pulled at your soul, okay? When you wake up the next morning, you find all of your clothes have been taken, put into a pile, and you just see pieces of clothes and a little bit of acid left over. And as you search around the camp, you see dragon claw marks.
For the record, Roland is noticeably scruffier than he was 4 years ago. Just throwing that out there. Okay, so, not to be outdone, Roland will leave a little tripwire net booby trap for the dragon. Just something for him to remember me by. I'm going to wrap up in my cloak of displacement, grab whatever belongings I still have, magic items, etc. And I'm gonna head to that spot from the vision. I'm going to use travel via plants and step on through to the other side.
Okay. And by the way, the swamp has increased by about 45%, roughly, while in your tenure. Which you've had to fight some people because some of the farmers and stuff don't like the fact that the swamp's growing in part of their lands. Some of the people don't like that the swamp is getting in between, but it's basically the edge of Centervale, your swamp, and now the desert. So there's that.
That's a big swamp.
Yeah, it's pretty gnarly swamp. And you head over. So we did Mal, we got Onyx, we got Basil, we got Roland. Let's do Grok. Hey, Grok.
Hey, what's going on?
What have you been up to in the last 4 years?
I kind of see myself hanging out with the lady that does the potions, working with her, helping her make potions. Kind of spending Matilda, thank you.
Okay, so you've been spending time with Matilda. What have you been doing with Matilda?
Working with making potions and such like that. Researching on how to make golems. Just, living life that way.
She doesn't know too much about golems, but if you want to talk about potions, this lady is a wizard. A little bit of poor phrasing because she's not a wizard. She is just amazing at making potions. And so you spent most of your days listening to Matilda talk about potions and talk about one particular halfling she met a long time ago.
Well, I'm going to have to help her find that halfling and bring him to her.
I was really hoping that you'd roll higher than a 35.
Or 35.
That was a practice roll. You hadn't asked me to roll yet.
Oh, that's the roll, buddy. That's what you had to do. Okay, so you've made and you've done a lot of potion work. You've actually have met Rabbi Jan a couple times because, sometimes Matilda would donate some potions to the church, and she usually has you go up there and do it because she doesn't like to go places unless there's a halfling involved. And yeah, you still know a little bit about dragons. You don't recall having met any, right? Like there's something you read about in the book. You still think you're a dragon turtleborn, but you don't have any visuals to base that off of, unlike before. Grin, roll your percentile dice, and if you roll under 20, you have dated Matilda in your past.
Rin takes a dagger and just slits his own throat.
For the record, he rolled a 27, 7 above what was required to date Matilda.
What?
You must be this tall to ride.
I hate you all.
That's okay, we love you. Okay, we talked a little bit too briefly, and yours was the most consistent with what you wanted to do with your character for a long time. You talked about doing almost like a PI or a spy agency, kind of a network of people getting information and solving problems.
Yeah, which I didn't have the time to develop
unfortunately.
If you were going to name this organization, what would you name it?
It's the RIA, the Realm Intelligence Agency.
That's right. I thought you had a name for it. All right, so that's what you've been doing for the last 4 years. You've been establishing the RIA, and you've had to make contacts in a lot of towns. So you've actually probably had a chance to bump into almost all of these people. And the fact that, unlike anybody else, you would have been involved and traveled to each of these towns. And you've got a contact in almost every town, right? You've got somebody you can work on. And actually, we'll talk about your guys' perks here in just a little bit. But Rin, your perk is, and I saw this on a Facebook group, and I wish I could give credit to whoever was the original idea of it, but it's the ability called I Got a Guy, right? And when you run into a situation and you need to find, like if you want to come up with a creative, if you need help with an idea or a thing, you can make up effectively an NPC, and then we can do some rolls or something. And I'm not saying this NPC will always be friendly or excited. Think of it like Han Solo and Cal. Why can't I think of the dude's name?
Lando Calrissian.
Yeah, Lando Calrissian. Thank you. When Han Solo showed up, Lando was I'm really frustrated about that too. When Han Solo showed up, he wasn't buddies with him. Like it was not perfect terms when they initiated contact, and that may happen to you as well, because you've got that kind of personality. But I will go ahead and oust one of your contacts in Centerville. Your contact is Matilda.
Come on now.
Listen, I had to do it. All right. It was
I know you had to.
If you would have rolled under a 20, she would have been something a lot more than your contact.
Well, I guess
contact would have been the least of your worries.
So you won that one.
Sure.
Oh, does that sound good?
Yeah, it's perfect.
Do you understand your perk? You gotta put your perk
I do.
on your
Talk
on your character sheet so I can remember it. You win this round. Fenilius, can you give me a percentile dice roll?
81.
Wow, he won it. Oh, by the way, Bran, through your contacts, through Matilda, she has let you know that something is going on west of town. And she doesn't know what's going on, but she's noticed that Rabijan, the head clergy, and Grok, her assistant, are both heading in that direction at about the same time. And she saw some weird hippie-looking druid head that way. So with all of these other people going to investigate, she thought it might be prudent to have some sort of knowledge on why. And so she sent you through your contact network that you've got set up. That's the other part of your thing, is you can send messages across towns pretty quickly. Through your contact network she's got set up, she sent out and said, hey, man, maybe it's something you want to check out.
Cool. I remember that.
Same sort of thing. Grok, you've noticed some stuff's going on out there. Matilda said, you know what, I really kind of want to know what's going on. There seems to be a lot of energy coming from that direction. You want to go see if there's anything rare or exciting out there? Really easy push to get you to go look up stuff.
Sure, I can do that.
And Fenilius, you rolled an 81. You did great. You're the winner of the rolls, I think. I think you're the last guy to do, too. Tell us a little bit. We chatted as well. Tell us a little bit about what Fenilius has been up to this entire time.
Fenilius has been looking for answers to questions for basically his whole life. So once he completed all of the books in the Great Library in the Elven Kingdom, he continued on and began traveling to other places, searching for libraries, searching for books, tomes, texts, ancient, otherwise, and has been working on finding all of the answers. He passed through a up-and-coming little town, Centervale, I think it was, and that sad place didn't even have a library, so he talked his mother into building one there. Eventually made his way down into the Dwarven Kingdom, and they have a surprisingly large library, and he is currently down there. All three of him are down there studying books.
Rabijan is curious by your statement of books.
More so about the three of Finn.
What's like an ace of spades?
Me, myself, and I.
That's right. I remembered it, Fenilius. I remembered we talked a little bit about the functionality of it, and for some reason my brain right now just forgot about the actual idea. So, Fenilius, while you're researching, information comes in and out. The dwarves manage to stay very well connected with what's going on in the world without being a part of the world. It's funny, a lot of like D&D-esque worlds put the elves as very aloof, And I don't really like elves that way in my mind for some reason. To me, it's the dwarves, the guy who are naturally separated by. All right, then, keep your secrets. The dwarves who are naturally separated by actual landmass, right? Who have to go through caves and tough stuff, and they're very, very particular about who they let in and out. Those ones are more. Dwarves are a lot more rare. Nobody doubts that dwarves exist, just not many people have seen them. And Fenilius is one of the few people that can go in and out at will now. And in that Fenilius, some stuff's going on, and they say, "Hey, we don't know if this is something." One of the dwarves comes in and he kind of knocks on the study that they've let you have, and he goes, "Hey, Fenilius, you in here?"
Yeah, yes, I am.
Hey, you like to study weird things, right?
Weird. I mean, normal things, yes. Weird, I'll study weird things.
So there's some sort of gathering of energy going on the surface, and we're curious about it, and you're naturally curious, and we're busy. Plus, we don't really like going to the surface anyway. And we were wondering if you'd do us a favor and head up and investigate it.
Well, I mean, it has been a little while since I've seen the sun, or a tree, or grass. Yes, I'm in. I'll go.
And he hands you a map showing that west of the weird town that you built the library into, there's a spot in a field that they wanted you to check out.
Cool. That's convenient. I believe I set up a portal there at one point, maybe when the library was being built.
Perfect. Thank you. And then I imagine you gather your stuff and head that way, right?
Correct.
Mallory, do you remember what we said your perk was going to be?
Yes.
Any questions about what it does?
No.
Okay,
well, actually, yes, but I'll whisper it to you.
Oh, I have a question.
Yeah.
When the people who were involved with the cult got their cult tattoos removed, I said that Basil wasn't going to have his removed, he was going to have his X'd out. Does he still have it?
Yes.
Okay.
Onyx, do you mind if I just tell you your perk, or do you want me to whisper it to you?
Yeah, you can tell me.
So you have, it's kind of to go with your barbarian style. Yours is one of the first ones I thought of. When you rage, Onyx, when you go into a rage, for 1 minute, the spirits of your ancestors join you in battle. And you get kind of an Echo Knight ability, where all this thing really does is grant you advantage on anybody. It's on anybody that you're going ahead of in the round.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. You're level 18. It's not too overpowered. It helps. You guys are enough. We play with the flanking, so it's not too big of a perk, but it helps. You find yourself out there in the front sometimes.
It sounds like a damage buff, but really it's a health buff, because that means he needs to use reckless attack less.
Fair enough.
So, what is this perk called?
Flanking Grandpa.
It sounds like a type of beer.
Come on down to Earl's Brewery and drink some Flanking Grandpa before we run out. We won't have none until next fall.
Knock you off your feet before you know it.
Now you know why Grandpa used a spit tune. You guys are ridiculous, and I'm not on point. Grok, do you want me to whisper yours?
No, you can just tell me.
You're apothecary now. So you have effectively anything related to brewing a potion you have expertise in. You are skilled with expertise. And it's an intelligence skill. All right. So even if it's supposed to be some sort of wisdom, like if I say to brew this potion, you need to go out and gather mats, which would normally be like a survival or something like a nature check. For you, that wouldn't be made with wisdom. That would be made with your intel.
Okay.
Only in regards to brewing potions. I think the only one left is Basil. And Basil, I'm going to be honest, I don't have yours done yet.
Basil dies at the sight of any dragon. He drops dead instantly the second a dragon looks at him. I don't think it'll come up much, so I think it'll be okay.
Do you have another character concept you like?
Yeah.
Dragon, he teleports into his belly.
Oh!
Attack it from the inside.
Oh, Ricky, I remembered a question I had. I was reminded of it because you mentioned the perk, and I remembered because I thought about it when I was thinking about the perk last week. Do we have the same inventories? Because I think I probably would have bought more daggers than 0 by now, because I kind of ran out Also, I don't know, like, do we have any, like, common magic items or anything? I've never been this high level. I don't really know how obtaining things goes.
We're going to work through that in a moment. All right, so you guys all journey, and you make it to this little plateau here that I'm pinging. You can see it. It's the only feature on this map.
So we put our tokens down in that thing.
Mm-hmm. Who's not on the map?
I was,
Onyx?
but just barely.
As you guys approach this place where you all, for various reasons, have been summoned, there's really no encounters. Rin got lost once. You guys all managed to get there, and you all arrive at about the same time from kind of different spots, right? Like you kind of all come at it, but from a little bit of a different direction. And so you're all kind of meeting, and as you look upon each other, you all look familiar. Once you guys get there, you hear what shouldn't be, but is a familiar voice go, "Oh, it's time again already." As you all see Abel back in full suit materialize again in front of all of you. He kind of looks around and goes, "Well, it certainly is nice to see some of you. I was kind of hoping time would have taken care of some of the other of you. But, no mind. Either way, we're all here. How are you guys doing?"
And who did might you be?
I'm doing wonderful. Thanks for asking. How are you doing today, Abel?
Oh, I've had better days, but I've not had better weeks. Tiny angry one, you don't remember who I am?
Should I?
Oh, yes, you should. And he claps like he's summoning a peasant, and with that, you guys remember all of your past lives. And take a few moments, I'm sure, to adjust as your two life histories kind of merge back into one continual, which is a little bit of a mind screw.
Ow.
Ew.
Oh, I didn't even know it was possible to think that much at once. Oh my.
That was disgusting.
Not the annoying turtle born. I thought I had forgotten that much.
Hey, it's Matilda's halfling.
I can see that Rin is being his usual cheerful self.
Don't be a dick.
Do we remember everything about both lives?
Yeah.
Okay, then I go to the Feneliuses and I say, "I'm so sorry. I forgot about you again."
Well, I mean, to be fair, we forgot about you too.
Oh, well, that's like 6 times as bad because there's more of you. Why are there more of you?
Rabijan is gonna notice that there are more fins than just one, and she's gonna start freaking out because that's more responsibility.
I don't remember this many fins, though. Am I? Oh, it's like noon, and this is already a very long day.
Only 4 of the Feneliuses respond. There's really only 1 of me, and no extra responsibility. This is just my assistant.
You? You're your assistant?
No, I'm his assistant, as the other 4 Fenelius respond.
He's taken if you want a job done right, do it yourself, to a whole new level.
That is accurate.
Nobody touch a hit point. Nobody touch a spell slot, or I will delete you.
Hey, Guildies. It's mid-roll time. As much as I would love to do some shoutouts right now, or maybe do some sort of promotional thing, alas, my hands are tied. Fortunately for us, though, I still have Fenelius's journal, so I figured get away from the humble for a little bit and read a few more entries. I appear to have found some sort of glade, it seems. It's kind of cozy. It's very peaceful, very relaxing. I think this would be a great place, to do a little more reading.
I can't believe the day has almost come. I have very nearly finished all of the books in the Great Library. Mother believes that I waste time reading when I could be experiencing, and I may finally understand what she means. It will soon be time to leave here and experience more. I will not lie, especially to myself. I am quite terrified of the idea of going away from here and trying to learn to interact with, well, anyone. Once again, Mother was right. She probably never tires of hearing that from me. I should have spent more time with my peers, learning to be more normal. I know I'm odd to them. I know I will be odd to most everyone. I think I'm okay with being odd. I just wish I could be odd and still be able to function somewhat normally. I suppose, like most other things, acting normal will be a skill I can learn. It's official. I have finally read every book available to me here. Ideally, I would have learned all I wanted from these books. I don't know why I'm mildly surprised that I didn't. There simply must be a reason for, well, everything. It's time for me to go out and find my answers elsewhere. I know this means it's time that I'll have to learn how to interact with people, at least enough to find the answers that I seek. As wildly uncomfortable as that makes me, I think it'll be fine. I mean, it can't be that bad, can it?
Oh, looks like we might have upset somebody. Maybe we should
Hey,
do this
you,
another
what
time.
you?
And yeah.
Why are you?
No, get it. It's okay. Sorry.
Get out of my
Sorry.
way!
Let's get back to the show.
Basil just puts his hand on his forehead. Okay.
Okay, now what the hell? What are we exactly? Why, how, and when exactly are we?
Well, you know when. Like, you remember the continual time. It's been 4 years since you saw Abel. Like, once the suppression is released, you've got a good idea of kind of how everything lines up.
Hey, how about you leave us alone next time?
No, I will do what I need to do when I need to do it, and I'm sorry if that inconvenienced you.
Do you think
Yeah, figured.
maybe you could explain it to us next time and not just, I don't know, do a time zap?
I didn't do. Well, no, I did. Yes, yeah, maybe.
Well, Abel!
Rin's
He walks
gonna
up to you, Basil, and he awkwardly hugs you because he thinks that will make you calm down.
He just continues to make confused, exasperated sounds.
He just hears. He goes, "Shh, it's okay, Flippy boy."
He does get quiet.
Basil responds well to the cooing.
Yeah.
This is so freaky. So
Yeah, a family. I didn't think you'd had it in you there, buddy.
I didn't either.
Oh, good job on the twins.
You reproduced? You guys can do that?
Yeah. Can't you?
I mean, how?
When a man and a woman love each other.
Abel, can you make them stop?
In my experience, it has very little to do with love.
I feel.
Abel whispers back, I could probably make him stop, but why would I? This is fun.
This is the most confusing day of my life. And I think I've lived 2 of them.
All right, and then after a few seconds, Abel goes, well, I'm busy, and I'm doing things much too complicated to sit here and focus on this. So I will bring in my assistant to answer questions. And then he kind of, a dark greenish negative portal kind of opens up. He reaches in and scoops Brack out and dumps him out on the ground and then steps through it.
Oh, come on, not him.
Brack!
What the hell? And on the way, you go all the way past, you hear Abel just say 2 words to Brack, and he just says, they know. And then he goes through the portal and bounces.
Brack, it's a pleasure to see you again. I didn't even realize that I missed you.
No,
no offense.
it was so quiet for 4 years. I mean, hey. He does finger guns at you. Hey.
Well, I can't relate because I've been traveling with Ron, but...
Oh, you mean the poisonous snake guy, Ron?
Yes, he's gotten quite knowledgeable.
Brack looks at you all and goes, well, it's nice to have you guys back. I hope it was a great vacation. There's a lot more of you than I remember. Cornelius, do I address all of them or just the one?
Yes.
Cornelius?
I think he asked the wrong Cornelius.
Yeah, I think
ask the other one.
Yeah, he goes up to the other Cornelius and goes, do I got to talk to all you guys or just one?
So ask the other one.
Robbie John has a question real fast.
Yeah, well, what's your question, Robbie John?
So before Robbie John forgot everything, Robbie John was getting breakfast. Is that still a thing?
You want to know if the deal you made with... He puts quotes up and goes, Abel still gives you breakfast?
Yes, Robbie John would like to know about the breakfast.
Do you want breakfast right now?
Well, Robbie John did leave kind of early.
Is that a yes?
Yes, Robbie John likes breakfast at all times of the day.
But that was a yes, but a statement that wasn't an answer. Does Robbie John, and he does this, he's trying to get you to focus on him. Does Robbie John want breakfast for her belly? He points at your belly. Right now.
Yes, Robbie John would like breakfast right now.
Fine. He opens the gate, and out comes a gnome who looks like he was in his sleeping clothes, like he's in a gnome nightgown. And Brack goes, breakfast! You've been lazy for 4 years! Let's go! And the gnome starts frantically cooking up a breakfast, pulling things from a portable hole.
Robbie John does a happy dance.
Is that an enslaved breakfast gnome?
Hey, do I ask you about your help staff?
Well, you haven't asked me about much in the past 4 years, so...
But do you have an enslaved breakfast gnome?
No, because I
okay, well then I think we've settled the issue.
Hey, how about you erase my memory again?
Yeah, I've said that same sentence many times. You know how much paperwork I do? I'm a damn paper pusher. Look, it's Breck the Puppet Master, Lord of the Paper.
Can Basil slip the breakfast gnome a little, like a business card for the Elven Herbs and Spices and say, if you need help, just contact us?
He looks at you in a frantic voice and goes, I am not held against my will at all. I am here voluntarily and enjoy the many perks of my gainful employment.
Robbie John is going to give some serious side-eye to Basil.
I'm sorry, Robbie John, that rights are infringing on your breakfast.
Robbie John's pretty sure she heard him say he wants to be here and make breakfast for Robbie John, so no rights are infringed.
Yeah, totally voluntarily. No coercion. I am not punished if I don't say all of these words exactly as instructed.
I feel like at that point a portal should pop open just big enough for Abel's hand to come through so he can slap the gnome across the back of the head.
We don't beat paid help staff.
I lean down to the gnome and I say, I'll come back for you.
All right. So that happens. So Brack's like, all right, I was sent here to answer your stupid questions. What questions do you have?
Did the Great Sage send you to send us here?
Send me? To send your Great Sage didn't send me anywhere. But we talked to him about getting your stupid face back here soon. He should have showed up and told you he had a mission.
Haven't seen you in 4 years, but okay, I guess stupid face will do.
It's better than most people's faces. Come on.
Thank you, Brack.
I'm sorry, I'm cranky. I just got taken away from breakfast. But I can't eat breakfast until the kitty cat's had hers.
Well, I just got half my life back, so maybe we're equal. I don't know.
Nah, buddy, your life's worth more than breakfast.
Robbie John is wondering why Mr. Abelgeister brought Mr. Breck to tell us things.
He's busy trying to not let everything die, and he kind of bosses me around sometimes.
Yeah, and Ren is only wondering why Abel would associate with, like, you. I mean, he gave you responsibilities? How does that happen?
Rin, we also gave Breck responsibilities.
What?
You don't know who did the paperwork at the Humble Beginnings?
All right, here's the deal. People learn magic different ways, right? Where your clerics kiss some god's butt and get spells. Paladins swear some sort of stupid oath and get spells. Wizards are nerds and they get spells. Sorcerers are lazy, lucky people that have some force of personality and get spells.
When he says wizards are nerds that get spells, Grok takes a bow.
And then some of us have to go find somebody else more powerful than them, make an agreement with them, trade a piece of their existence to them, and then they get spells and or instructions sometimes.
Oh, that's what happened.
And then there's barbarians. It comes naturally.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. He does quotes. Abel only came to this planet because I found a tome containing his real name in it. And when I found that tome, which I couldn't even read, it pulled him here. And then he traded me knowledge. No.
Can I see the tome?
No. I'd share any book I have with you except for that one. Nobody should have to read that book.
Rabbi-chan just wants to say that she never kissed Freya's butt. Rabbi-chan
It wasn't literal touch.
Friends, best friends.
Oh yeah, you go out and play sports with her on Sundays. Do you have scones with Freya? When's the last time you and Freya broke bread and shared a meal together? Not metaphorically.
Mr. Breakfast Gnome, can we make a plate for Mr. Breck so he stops being so cranky?
One plate coming up.
Oh, gnome.
Here we go. I made you a happy plate. And he takes some. He goes, "This is it's an egg and whole. It's very happy." And it's just a piece of toast cut out with the center with the egg fried in it. You can't make a frowny face and eat the egg and whole. And gives him the egg and whole. And goes back to cooking. So what are you guys doing? What do you guys... Rex there to answer questions. You guys have regained all of your memory. It's kind of a weird moment, but I've pushed you all together and said, now play.
Breck, where is everyone else?
Oh, man, that's a big question. You mean everyone that's ever existed?
I mean...
Or do you just mean the guild?
The defenders of the Veil, Yes. What happened to everyone?
There's been a lot of defending required with you chums out of the way.
So the guild still exists?
Yeah, it existed the whole time.
Well, what, so we just got kicked out?
You were never kicked out. They were just forced to forget you existed. Rabbi Jan worked with them. Hell, that guy was making potions for us. Pointing to Grok.
I did a wonderful job, and you should be glad I did it.
Yeah, we're very happy with your potions. We're sad to see you go and come back to work. Brack, king of the backhanded compliment.
But Breck, why were we removed?
Because we needed everybody to forget you existed so you guys didn't get killed until it was strong enough to fend for yourself. You've pissed off a lot of powerful things.
Is that...
I tend to be very good at that. Well, we do anyway.
That's preposterous.
Is that why we were removed from the attack on Centerville? What happened?
So my master separated you guys so that you would have the time to grow and develop outside of the microscope that you've created of people who wanted to kill you looking down on every move of your life.
Rabbi-chan has another question. How many... If it...
25.
25.
Do other people know about the weird, timeline thing, or is it just us and you and Mr. Abelgeister, or...
Only a few of the bad guys and a few of the good guys know.
So then...
None of the other defenders besides Kervine knows, and he came about that information some way. I don't know. That ass.
Oh, Briss would be proud.
So then the next question Rabbi-chan has is, does Mr. Breck have any information about the past lives and stuff that everybody has had since he apparently made all this start in the first place?
No, whoa, Toots, whoa. All right, whoa. You're attributing a lot of stuff to me that don't belong on my very handsome shoulders, Toots. First of all, I didn't make anything, Toots. Start, okay? All right. I just read a book, and this old one showed up. offered me power and information for servitude. I was tired of being a crap goblin, so I decided to do it. Shortly thereafter, somebody else caused the old one to not want to leave the place. And so, when other people tried to destroy the planet, I guess, I don't know, he's a little foggy on this one. I don't spend so much time with him in actuality. When somebody tried to destroy the place, he put us in some sort of stupid loop until he could figure out how to stop it. Because he likes something on the planet. You know, a lot. Toots.
Presumably the woman that wrote those books.
Yeah, presumably.
What is it he wants us to stop?
I'm pretty sure he told you about it. He didn't talk about the god and all that.
Yes. The one
there you go.
Ravijan doesn't want us to mention again.
What was its name?
I don't want to say it because I got scared when she looked at me that way.
He pokes you. He says, what was it?
Let's call him Stephen.
Stephen? That rhymes a lot with Sejuri, doesn't it?
It does not.
Sejuri,
You're not very good at rhyming. I take a step away from Breck. And away from Ravijan.
He pulls out one of his puppets and he goes, looks a lot like this guy most of the time.
When Ravijan sees the puppet, she is going to puff up a little and hiss.
Hey. I know I'm not a master puppet maker, but I did the best I could do, Tuts.
I think that's the
Yes, Ravijan feels that might be the problem.
So I'm now responsible for this stuff.
Breck, I have a question. Did a woman make you fall in love with her and make you have kids?
He looks at you very confused and he goes, no. I mean, I have kids, but I didn't raise them.
Wait, what?
This explains the breakfast. No.
You reproduced as well?
Oh, of course. But this is before I met you guys. I reproduced a lot. The way it works with goblins is we kind of raise our kids as a community.
Oh, shut up, man. No, I don't want to hear the story.
We raise them as a community. We don't put them in our house and put up with them all the time.
Smart.
So, any questions about the last 4 years?
It happened.
Oh,
that's not a question.
Ravijan has another question.
It was. Okay.
Does Mr. Breck know why Mr. O'Malley is so cranky lately?
You guys watched his family get destroyed.
Oh yeah, that did happen.
He hasn't bounced back from that all happy and joyful like.
Yeah, Ravijan can see how that makes sense now.
He used to focus on the celebration of life and love of Freya, and now he's swinging that mace around, sending them to their death a little quicker, focused on the battle and war part of it.
Yeah, Freya's okay with that.
They say a worshiper of Freya, a true worshiper, will experience the total spectrum of all of her little circles of influence. And he's on that back loop now. Man, is he really good at killing people right now.
That makes sense. I wonder if he'll ever come back to being happy?
Say, Breck, has anything noteworthy happened while we were away?
To answer the question, yes, there's been a lot of things going on in the last 4 years. The cult is different now. There's been a coup from inside. There's no longer fingers you got to worry about. It's more the end game now, and it's started to consolidate its powers. Mostly what you've got to worry about now are dragons and people. There are some giants out there, but Gervine managed to negotiate a peace with the giants, so they don't attack too terribly often anymore. Sometimes some solo giants do their own thing, but we just murder them brutally, and the rest get in line.
It seems Gry's accomplished a lot.
Where are the dragons?
All over. They're all over. I don't know where every dragon is. If I had that power, there'd be a lot less of them alive. Let me catch you up with the guild real quick.
Hey, don't worry, guys. I know a few guys.
You know some dragons?
No, I know a guy who might know a guy who knows where they are.
He also knows at least one alchemist. Hey, yo.
I might be able to come up with a potion of dragon finding.
So, Gervine, Raith, and Telgar have been focusing on attacking the cult that was doing the undead things. And they've pretty well got that handled. If it's through smiting the undead or controlling the undead, those three seem to be really good at it. Sometimes Gervine will come in and tell the undead what to do, and sometimes Raith and Gervine will make a hole and let Telgar go in and throw a tantrum, And sometimes Wraith will go all holier than thou smiley face on them.
That's weird.
They're quite the impressive unit.
Basha has been doing great. Her shiny princess, the delicate fancy flower.
Lunemi?
That one. Toots. Elvish Toots. And
Basil rolls his eyes.
And her best friend, other Elvish Toots, have been taking care of a lot of the stuff that's been in the woods. There's a lot of goblinoids, my people, which she's been single-handedly slaughtering out there. So that's going to make Thanksgiving weird as heck.
I mean, that does sound like Basha.
Dunk has been taking care of the humble beginnings in the Center Vale. He's really been taking care of a lot of the people. And you guys would know Dunk as the dwarf who owned the humble beginnings before the guild started. That mango and poisonous snake expert Ron had been traveling with Basil. They've recently come back.
I suppose that's where the Great Sage took them.
The cult has really, really, really shored itself up to a few locations. Do you remember the town that Phanilius died in?
I don't like that you said it like that, but yes.
It's doing just fine. But if you go there and head east, for a few more miles, you'll eventually run into the desert. In that desert is an old temple that's been dug out, and it's kind of near that temple where you guys apparently saw gods or something. Rabbijan had a story that was wild. Near that temple, in one of those buildings, that's where the undead part of the cult is based out of. And then the demonic part of the cult is a little bit to the south, and near the swamp is where the dragons of the cult kind of hang out.
What are we doing here?
Well, you see, you guys got to put these three pieces together to summon the Avatar to destroy that thing. You see, when you kill a metaphysical being on this prime material plane, it doesn't destroy it, but what it does is it makes it go away for a little while. And if you can make that Sajuri, he says, looking right. If you make Sajuri, holding the puppet and pointing it at her, go away for a while, then Abel can do stuff to get rid of him. At that point in time, the fight leaves our hands. The problem is, he's so busy keeping us all from being annihilated, he can't just make it go away. Besides, it's our planet. We should probably do a thing about it, right?
How are we supposed to do any of that from this remote field?
Yeah, he's an old god. He does weird stuff, man. I'm not an old god. I'm a goblin. I may be the most handsome goblin that you've ever met, but I'm just a goblin. And he dusted Cheryl.
Hey,
look, you want a mission? Here's a mission. Okay, ready? You got to kill. Say the name. And he looks at Basil. Say the name.
Steven.
Nope.
Steven.
Say the real name, and I'll give you the mission.
Sajiri.
He leans in. What? Couldn't hear you. I'm old. My ears aren't great.
Basil clears his throat and then yells Sajiri into Breck's ear.
Yeah, son of a bitch. You didn't have to yell it. You could have just spoke it like a damn adult.
I wanted to make sure you could hear it.
Oh, in 4 years you learned sassiness.
Well?
Rabbijan, he says, ignoring you immediately. Your flippy boy went through puberty.
Rabbijan doesn't need to know about that.
Well, he's going to have a lot of questions, and I'm not explaining it to him.
Breck! Sorry, Breck, could you explain how feasible it is to kill a god?
It's really hard. Really, really hard. And you guys probably aren't quite ready to try it yet, but you're close.
Okay. Well, how do we start? You said we need to get something and somewhat further to summon its avatar.
He goes, listen, it's a 3-step process. Step 1, you got to go kill people. Or negotiate, I guess.
I prefer that one.
Uh-huh. Unfortunately, you're negotiating with the cult. You see, they've got these artifacts of power that you need to get.
Right.
And you've got to gather all of them and bring them back here.
Any description of what they are?
Yeah, that's my favorite part. It's a few of them, and when you get them together, you kind of put them together, and they will apparently shoot a beam, and the guy will be summoned. They are like a square, but only 3 sides. They're like a square, but only 3 sides. Yeah, that. It is a trio of effort when you combine them. And when you combine them and you make this trio of effort, you will summon the avatar of Sajuri here, and that's how you're going to be able to get to him.
A trio of effort.
One might say like a Triforce. You get those by going to those 3 places we talked about: the swamp, east, and up north.
Mm-hmm.
And then you bring them here, and then you fight the avatar of a god. Once you've beat that, then hey, you win.
And there's a chance that we might not be stuck in this loop again?
Oh, for sure. There's also a really big chance you could probably all die mercifully.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that means that every other time we've all died mercilessly.
You guys have never gotten this far before.
Oh! Well, that's pretty impressive.
So Mr. Breck does know about the stuff that happened before then.
Of course he does. Abel was his patron.
Wait, does this mean that the Abel that we know is still here, or is he just spacing?
You're probably not going to see him too much more. He's pretty busy at this point in this stage.
That makes me happy.
Basil will look between all the Feneliuses and all of the Groks, and he's going to be like, have either of you ever heard of these triangular artifacts?
The trio of power.
The trio of power?
Effort.
A trio of effort.
I don't know. Am I?
That's an excellent question.
Why don't you make a knowledge check? History.
32.
Yeah, you've heard about them.
Wow.
14.
You have not heard about them. So, effectively, there are 3 anchors which connect, which were a pathway. Historically were viewed very ancient. Were viewed as an anchor between this world and the divine. They were tied between this world and the divine realm of death. So they were placed originally in 3 massive graveyards for 3 ancient kingdoms. They were stolen because they were divine artifacts of power. Then they've been used in various plots. They individually give benefits over things like undeath and the undead and negative energy and some sorts of magic. And they also cause issues with the people wielding or carrying them. It's one of those, a lot of benefits, a lot of pain.
Do you think then, after we're done with them, you could give them to Gravine? He might quite like them.
Oh, I bet Gravine would flip and love those.
So, what I don't get is if the cult already has these 3 objects, why haven't they brought them together to summon their god and destroy the world already?
I don't know.
Well,
My best guess, and this is all it is a guess because I'm not a part of the creepy cult, tried that before, it didn't work out well for me, that they're happy using the powers for what they're using them for.
I have another guess. They're sitting there talking about it all the time instead of doing something about it.
Hey, I believe we've been doing that for a while now.
That's fair.
So what do you think you're going to do?
Well, we're either going to go to DiGiorno over there at the desert, or we're going to go to the swamps, or we're going to go to that other place, and we're going to do something that is really fun.
Gather the artifacts?
Cut people in half.
Okay, well...
Why does our trip doesn't always have to end in a violent way? Can't we talk to people?
Yeah, they listen more when they're cut in half.
Robbie-chan feels like maybe talking to people that want to end the world isn't gonna work.
Maybe they're just misunderstood. I was part of the cult once.
Wait, what?
Did you forget?
Yeah, I have a selective memory, so...
I mean, granted, this was before I lost my memory the first time in my life, so...
And cults are very weird. I mean...
Violence it is, then.
Well, I mean, we'll keep violence as a last resort. How about that?
No.
Robbie-chan usually would agree with you, Mr. Basil, but she kind of feels like it should be a first resort with the cult.
I'm just saying that it's hard for them to disagree with what you want them to do when they're dead.
Yes.
Basil sighs and he turns to Breck and he says, Breck, I asked Abel something similar to this last time we saw him, but that was 4 years ago and maybe things have changed. Do you know if my family are still part of the, evil cult? Because maybe they would want to talk to me and then that's a little bit less chopping.
I don't know your family that well, so I don't know.
If it's all right with the rest of you, I understand that we do have, a goal, a job to do. We have to, retrieve these artifacts at no matter the cost. But if it is possible, I would like to try and talk to my parent ? Whichever one of them survived, as Abel said.
Okay, so you want to be the one that kill your... Okay, no problem.
It's not what I said. I meant talk with my mouth, not with my fists.
Breck's like, don't. All right, you're gonna fight your parents. Got it.
Well, if it comes to that, it'll come to that. Okay, I'll punch anyone if I need to, but I just would rather have a chat with Mom/Dad. I don't know.
Watch out, Rabbi Jan. He's punching everyone now.
Wait a minute, you would punch
again.
It wasn't a threat.
You would punch anyone? You would punch a baby?
If the baby was trying to end the world, then I would do what's needed. It's part of the way of the elven herbs and spices, okay? Some babies just have to go.
Really? I'm gonna call you Basil the baby puncher now.
Hey, my baby punching record is surprisingly low for a letter of the order, so I'll have you remember that.
Not 0.
I didn't say that. It was just implied. I don't want to hit babies. I just want to do what's right. And sometimes, if it ends up that way, there's evil babies.
So in your head, the right thing to do is punch a baby.
Not right now!
Robbie John is secretly judging you, Basil.
All right.
At some time?
Well, we all acknowledge that Basil's wrong for wanting to punch babies.
I don't want to punch
What are you
babies.
guys gonna do for your plans here?
Well, baby punching, that depends,
Next subject. What are we doing?
I bet there's no babies in the desert. Maybe we should try the desert first.
Robbie John kind of wants to go to the humble beginnings really fast and just kind of like say hi and check in, and then what do we do from there, guys?
They might have some more information.
I second that.
Even if we just don't just stop off to say hi, they may have some useful information.
Yeah, Ren will follow.
Especially if Gravine is there. Because Gravine seems to know a lot about this whole situation.
Yeah, it might be a good idea to talk to that creepy, scary necromancy dude.
You can just say Gravine. You don't have to use all the mean words as well.
I did have to use those words.
Agree to disagree.
That's fine. Baby puncher.
Okay. Well, I mean, I would probably mention here that out of all of us, your height is closest to that of a baby, but I've decided to be the bigger person again.
I don't think you deciding to be the bigger person is a decision. You are actually the bigger person.
Yes, it just sort of happens.
Rin just...
Let's go to Centerville!
He just stares at you and smiles, and if somehow he's gonna stab you someday. Like, you're not gonna even notice it.
Roland is going to use Druidcraft to create a small aloe vera plant, break off a piece, hand it to Rin, and say, "Here you go, for the burn."
Well said, well said.
Mr. Finn or Mr. Beck could not that Robbie John wants to interrupt this lovely banter. Can we maybe get like a teleportation circle to the humble beginnings?
You guys are like, I mean, I guess, yeah.
Robbie John is fat and lazy now, you forget.
Oh, would it not behoove us to perhaps set one up here so it's easier to come back when we have all the artifacts? I don't know how easy that is to do for now. I didn't mean to assume, sorry. And then again, I suppose it's not the most difficult task in the world to find this plateau, so I suppose it doesn't really matter either way.
I've been looking around and kind of studying this place. I think I can get us back here when we need to. In the meantime, here's a teleport for all of us to go to Onyx, and then I cast the spell.
Breck, are you coming with us?
Yeah, we'll go.
Would you like to ride on my shoulders, or... I don't...
Yeah. I'll take a piggyback ride. As long as you don't punch me like I'm some sort of baby.
Okay, well, he just sort of gets, kneels down for him to hop on his back.
Awkwardly climbs up your back.
Oh, he's like my Yoda.
Word, but angrier.
Yeah. I should have done training, just holding Breck on my back and kind of do backflips.
Oh, Lord. I want that fan art, and I'm going to put it on a t-shirt. We're going to go ahead and end the episode there. Thanks for coming along and listening to us play some Dungeons & Dragons. We hope you had a good time. And join us next time with Defenders of the Veil as we try to find dragons to slay.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Defenders of the Veil. You can follow the cast on Facebook at Defenders of the Veil or on Twitter at Defenders Veil. Please subscribe. Leave us a 5-star rating and review wherever you find podcasts. Tell your friends about us too. Make sure you tune in next week for more shenanigans from the Veil. Until then, guilties, farewell.
Anybody have any questions about what was going on?
What do you mean?
I was just asking if anybody had any questions because there's a weird bit of dump lore at the end of last session and kind of a weird individual kind of makeup of time and history and stuff. I just wanted to pause for a second before I started rambling my mouth and throwing ancient dragons at you to ask you if there's anything you wanted to chat about before we went forward.
Well, all I have to say is that it's weird, and I really am eager to see how it does end. Or maybe more like how you gonna tie this up together.
It's going to end with everybody getting murdered. That's usually how I like to end my campaigns.
Okay, well.
Get to level 19, TPK.
Oh, yeah, well, yeah. Joke's on you. My fly speed is 100 feet. I'm out of there. So
yeah,
the second things
throw
start looking bad.
Yeah, that's what you do. I'll throw a Tarask at you. And,
oh, no.
What do you get? I mean, there's enough people with flying. You guys won't care. You're just like, well, I'm done here.
I've got to go. I have poisonous snakes to help my buddy Ron with, so I'm busy.
Ooh, hell yeah, let's go wrangle them poison ice snakes.
I got stuff to do.
It's poisonous if it bites you and you get poisoned. And then you tell things are venomous if it's got a V on it.
Very true. Very true.
Just so you guys know, my player, Ron, my druid, Roland, and my editor, also Ron, are all three dying on the inside of anger. If you've ever wanted to know what a man looks like with a blood pressure of 300 over 150.
So anyways, it's been some really weird weather we've been having lately. Yeah. Talk about stuff. It's
So
how are they in Arizona for your for the male-on-male public display of affection?
Well, there were the three of us guys there, so it was not male on male. It was male on male on male, and it was fine.
Is that supposed to be disgusting, or?
That sounds like something you could get some money for, honestly.
Yeah, like why would you charge for true love?
No, Ricky's gonna start an OnlyFans.
Because you still got bills to pay.
What do you mean start an OnlyFans? You guys aren't all subbed to my OnlyFans?
I am.
I mean, obviously, you guys should be subbed because A, none of you, if you're not subbed, know that I can do the splits, and also can twirl a baton.
I can. Oh my god! I can only imagine Ricky in a tutu and like flipping
$1.99 because I'm cheap. I didn't wear a tutu. Speedo Saturday.
Oh, gross.
He promised all his fans that he was going to be wearing a red, white, and blue one next Tuesday.
Because of patriotic.
I'm going to be wearing black.
But you need to have a pencil and paper. You ready?
I know where this is coming from, and I hate you both.
What do you mean? What do you... I'm only one person.
And one of you is enough.
What is that?
I mean, the sassy asshole in my house who told you to test my math skills. Come at me. Come at me.
Well, that's ruined. All right, this opportunity's gone. So I'm sorry, guys. I was taking some of our precious time.
Now. What's the math.
No, I don't want to. I don't want to because I don't know how to solve it. I just googled hard
He's
math
not gonna-
algebra. It was going to watch you flop around like a frustrated fish for a little bit.
Jerk.
I got a Facebook message from Walter, and he goes, "Listen, if you want to see Mal get frustrated, tell her to do a hard math problem." And I was like, "All right."
Okay.
Like, wow,
I-
just out of the blue, but okay, sure.
I was like, I'm game. I like to frustrate Mal. It's one of my favorite things about this game.
The man I married, guys.
Yeah, it's the one you picked. That's him. Okay, so does your shirt say Preggers?
Yes, it does, and it's
No.
super comfy.
Oh, good. That's a good shirt to have because sometimes somebody who's as pregnant as you are, which spoilers, you're very pregnant with your twins. Guys like me who are
She's
terrified
pregnant?
with twins. Guys like me who are terrified of asking questions of people who are pregnant. I would not. Oh, watch this, Ren.
What? Oh god, what's that?
This is where
That's
babies
no
come from, Ren.
moon.
Oh my, Basil, no.
No, that's a giant baby.
Right.
Are you sure isn't that it isn't an alien or something like that? I mean,
And
like
then
borrowing its
shortly
way
after
out.
that, Mallory went to Canada and committed murder. Okay, so I see Craig there. I don't know the validity of him being there.
What's up with Craig?
Ron was like, "Wait, hold up," and I was like, "All right." And then he said, "Back it up," and it got weird.
Is
But
that
then he
what
asked
Ron
about
sounds
Craig.
like?
Yeah, he has a
But
voice effects thing to change him to Voltron right now. But most of the time, he's all like, "Hey, hold up, guys! I'm here to tell you about poisonous and venomous, and to back that thing up, sweetie. I see you over there in those jeans, apple bottoms all day."
What? I don't think Ron has ever said any of those words.
Never in that order.
No.
Except for apple bottom jeans. He talks about those every time I see him.
Yeah, and boots with the fur.
With the fur?
With the fur.